In this video, I'm going to talk about the rarest colors from Crayola, from Prismacolor, from Polychromos, and from Sharpie. Why would a color be super rare? One thing it would be is if it is in a large box or if it is retired. We are going to focus on the retired colors today because they are the most rare. At another time, we can go through all the colors that are the hardest to find that you'll probably have to buy a big box for. Sometimes they sell colors individually like Polychromos and Prismacolor, and you can find those and they're not as rare, but as the case for Sharpie and Crayola, sometimes you can only find them in the big box. The first thing that we're going to start with is probably the most simplest today, Polychromos. I researched Polychromos and I've researched all of the companies that went into this video. Their line was like the most stable that I saw of any single line. They were basically Polychromos from the beginning, from 1908. And that's the way they've stayed. They've had a 12 and a 24 count box, and then now they have a 120 count box. There are 3 colors that have been retired that you cannot find anymore. You have soft black, light blue, and light purple. And these colors are an approximation of what they would look like. People really like the light blue and the light violet, and they liken those to some of the pastels from Holbein. So if you cannot find these and you really want to try them, go and look at the Holbein pastel range and you'll have some of those colors from Polychromos that you are missing. The next one we're going to talk about is Sharpie. Sharpie's probably the second least complicated, even though it is complicated. Sharpie has been making markers for years. They started out with the black color and then they have expanded to other colors. And in 2003, they started putting out specialty packs. And in these specialty packs, they would put out 5 colors, and sometimes the colors would be incorporated longer and they would stay around, and sometimes they would be retired. So we're going to go through all the special packs and the colors, and I'm super lucky to have the color swatches. I don't have all of the markers, but Tiffany sent me these markers. I'm super grateful that she sent me these marker colors because without her, I would not have all these colors to show you guys today. And thank you so much for sending those to me. In the first pack, which was Nature in 2003, we have Burgundy, Marigold, Olive, and Plum. The Earth pack in 2004 has Brick, Dandelion, Ocean, and Spruce. The Summer Splash in 2006 has Kiwi, Rain Shower, Clover, and Pumpkin. The 2006 set, Wildflowers, has Rose, Violet, Blueberry, and Earl Grey. The Colors Cafe in 2008 has Hibiscus Tea, Mocha, Pomegranate, and Coconut. And the last one, Caribbean, in 2009 has Flamingo, Lime Daiquiri, and Stingray. Until was a special release in 2015. So if you find all of these colors and you get the 65 pack plus the portrait colors right now, you will have all of the Sharpie colors. These ones are fairly simple. They're really hard to find. You can pretty much find them on eBay is how you're best going to find them. I don't know if some stores have some packs that are laying around from like 20 years ago, but you could try that avenue too. Okay, the next one that we're going to go to, Crayola and Prismacolor, are really complicated, both of them. We're doing colored pencils in Prismacolor and brands in Crayola. We're not doing the colored pencils in Crayola. That is a whole separate issue that we'll have to talk about another day because they have been releasing a ton of boxes lately and they haven't been including all of the colors, so it's really hard to know what's retired or not because they're still making those old boxes. We're going to go to Prismacolor first. Now, Prismacolor has a very interesting history. It's kind of 2 brands at the beginning that combine together, Eagle and Beryl. In this video, I'm just focusing on like true colors that are really hard to find. So like a red Prismacolor that says Eagle on it or Sanford or Beryl is going to be the same color. It's not retired. So we're not focusing on those colors, even though they're different names. But if you want to be a completionist as far as getting all of the Prismacolors with the write names on them, then you would go look for those. But right now we're just focusing on the colors that are hardest to find. So first off, I want to thank Color My World. She had a really good video on this. I got some of the information from there, and she went through so many colors, and she has a lot of these colors, and she knows where they came from and the time period and all that stuff. And it was just super great information. I'm really grateful she had that video on it. Eagle was called Mikado. It was a Japanese name. But so it was first called Eagle Mikado, and then they changed that name to Murado because they didn't like how Mikado was associated with being an emperor. And then it goes to Eagle Turquoise. So you could find all of those different ones. And then they have Verithin. So you could find all of these different colors. And even today, Prismacolor will have a few different lines of colored pencils. But we're not focusing on getting all of the different colored pencils. We're focusing on the colors that are the hardest to find. So the colors that are hardest to find of Prismacolor, and we are just going to go through this. I do not actually have any of these in hand. I have as close as I can to a swatch for these. The first one that we have is Orchid. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on for this. I can't see. It's PC 970. The next one we have, so it's a barrel color, is Barrel Light Green, PC 920. And this one is a significantly different color. Even though PC 920 is around right now, it's a significantly different color than the current 920. And then Copper is PC 951. And then we have some other metallics. We have metallic purple, metallic green, metallic blue, metallic rose, metallic violet, metallic maroon, and metallic jade. And those were only made for a very, very short time. Also being only made for a very short time were the neon colors: neon green, neon yellow, neon orange, neon red, neon pink. And then we have another color that is a little harder to find: Bright Blue Violet, PC 999. These two are some of the hardest colors to find. Clear Yellow, PC 971, and Fuchsia, PC 983. So if you have any of these colored pencils, you're already ahead of me. You are great in this department. There was a line of pencils that came out when they kind of mixed with Newell and Sanford also makes Sharpies, which is very interesting, and they also make Expo markers back in the day. They're called Light Fast Prismacolor pencils, and those ones will have different names, and there's a lot of different ones. I can probably do a whole video about them. It'd be nice if I actually got my hands on a set of those one day, and I could show you a whole video about them. But I'm not going to put all the names of those in this video, but those ones are also very hard to find. Prismacolor also had a box called Prismacolor, and that one was available in England because of somehow they couldn't call it Prismacolor in England, so when one of those mergers happened, they made Prismacolor. So if you can find those, people actually really like those. And that would be like one of those rare boxes to find. It's not like a true color, but it's one of those colors that are going to be harder, one of those boxes that are going to be harder to find. So last but not least is Crayola. And Crayola is the one that I know probably the most history about because I have been a Crayola collector since I was like 8 years old. We are only going into the true colors that are hardest to find. There are a lot of off colors and specialty colors that are also hard to find. One of them being Silver Swirls. That one is probably one of the most hardest ones to find. I have a few boxes of them, and they're my favorite ones from when I was younger, but they had to take them off the market, I think, because they contain metal in the crayons, and they were like, we can't have those on the market for kids. And they also have some magic scents that they've come back with silly scents, which is good, but they haven't put the scents back into an actual crayon. They put it into a twistable, but not a crayon. So any magic scents that you have of Crayola are going to be really hard to find. We also have Gem Tones and Star Brights. There are so many different ones. Luckily, this year they've come out, and last year they've come out with a whole bunch of colors, and maybe even the year before, that are like some of those really cool ones from the 1990s that they used to have. So they've come out with Cosmic Colors, Pearls, which was another one that was hard to find, but now they have them again. They renamed them, but that is really cool that they have them. And they've come out with Confetti, which was another one that they had back in the day. A whole bunch of new glitter ones that have names on them. But right now, I feel like all those specialty crayons could be an entire video for Crayola. So right now I'm just gonna like broach the subject and be like, those ones are kind of rare, but we're gonna focus on the true colors because that's what we've been doing for the other ones. We could probably make an entire video on all of the super rare ones. I actually have a worksheet that you can track all of those rare crayon color names. So sometimes what they'll do, like they made the color purple for Oprah and they only had like 10 of them in the world. And so there's colors like that, or carbon black, but they only release that for like Crayola employees, so it'd be really hard to find. They have some that they made for the Crayola experience, and every Crayola experience had a different color, and I got one of those colors. They had a Crayola C of the day. So anyway, those ones are going to be an entirely different video. If you guys want that video and you want to see all of these different named ones, you can ask for that. And also I have this worksheet that you can purchase, and you can see all of them on the worksheet, so you can check them off as you find them. Let's go through these true colors. And there's going to be some history involved with this. I want to thank Ed Welter. He is no longer collecting. His website is not up, which is a very big disappointment because we all loved his website. And he just took it down one day and was like, it's going to be gone. And I was like, oh, man. But I'm glad that I already had started the process of collecting some of these vintage ones so it could be carried on. And I'm hoping eventually to have more history stuff so that way that history isn't lost, because I feel like he did such a good job getting that history, and then all of a sudden it was gone, that we kind of lost this piece. Every time we lose documentation and history, it feels like a piece of our world is gone. Like we can no longer experience because it's not there anymore. And now we have to re-find it. And I wish it wasn't gone. Crayola came out with their first box of crayons, and it was an 8-count box. And in this 8-count box, it was their gold medal crayons. They had one color that was super hard to find and that you can't find any other place, and that one is dark blue. And the story with this one is someone asked me if I wanted this box from 1908, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. No, actually, I said no at first, and I was like, you can give it to the next person. And then he was like, are you sure you don't want it? And I was like, oh, actually, it's the only place you can get dark blue. I'll take it. And then a couple of days later, I was like, hey, how much do I owe you? Like, when are you going to ship it? That kind of stuff. And he's like, oh, I gave it to the other person. I was like, oh, I should have, more emphasized, yes, I do, at the end of the conversation, because we conversed a little bit. I should have said at the end of the conversation, yes, I do want that box. Let me know how much I owe you. But it didn't happen, and I don't have that box. Maybe one day I'll have it. But there are a few colors, and I would say the ones that I don't have are probably the most rare. And also one box that I do have that is super rare are going to be the Munsell crayons. Those ones are super rare. Also, I was lucky. I got that box from Alan. He's a fellow Crayola collector, and I was super grateful to have that in my collection now. We're going to go through all of the rare crayons. Some of them I don't have, and some of them I do. And the ones that I don't have are probably the ones that are most rare, and the Munsell ones are the most rare. The colors that were retired in 1910, and these ones are hard to find, and I don't have most of these ones. I need to find a box with them. Is Celestial Blue, Charcoal Gray, Dark Chrome Green, Medium Chrome Green, Light Chrome Yellow, Golden Ochre, Lemon Yellow, Permit Geranium Lake, Raw Sienna, and it came back later, Dark Venetian Red, Light Venetian Red, and Van Dyke Brown. And then we have some colors that were retired in 1914. And I do have some of these ones. We have dark green, green light, medium green, yellow medium, permanent magenta. And then we have some colors that were retired in 1917. Pink, dark blue, and light blue. And then we have some colors that were retired in 1935. And I have some of them and I don't have some of the other ones. Charcoal gray was retired a second time. English vermilion, madder lake, light chrome green, chrome medium yellow, and maximum black. And then we have one color that was retired in 1939. It's medium green. And then in 1945 through 1944, guess what was happening? There was a world war and we had a shortage of colors. And then these ones were officially retired in 1949. Burnt umber, celestial blue again, Gamboge yellow. Gamboge yellow is one of the hardest colors to find. Maximum blue green, maximum green yellow, maximum purple blue, maximum red purple, maximum yellow red, middle blue, middle green yellow, middle gray, middle purple blue, middle red purple, middle yellow red, and Venetian red. And a lot of those colors were the Munsell ones, a lot of those middle ones, and I'm grateful that I have those. Thank you. The next ones that were retired right before the 1958 box came out, and that's the first time 64 colors were put in a box. And I have most of these. Azure blue, brilliant rose, carmine red, cerulean blue, cobalt blue, dark green, dark red, gold ochre, light blue, light green, light magenta, light turquoise blue, medium orange, medium red violet, medium rose, medium violet, medium yellow, middle blue green, pink beige, Prussian blue, rose pink, and ultramarine blue. These ones were in 48 count boxes and I was super lucky. I had a collector send those to me, John Korb, and he sent me the 48 count boxes and some 1958 64 boxes, and I was super grateful. I've been able to put on my website and I really treasure those boxes. Then we are going to have some colors that were retired in 1990. We've got blue gray, green blue, lemon yellow, maize, orange red, orange yellow, raw umber, and violet blue. And then we have one color that was retired in 1999. That one's thistle. And then we have 4 colors that were retired in 2003. And these ones are retired so they can make way for other colors. We have blizzard blue, magic mint, mulberry, and teal blue. And then we all know what color was retired in 2017 was dandelion. And that one's going to be harder and harder to find. You can find it right now, but it will become harder and harder to find. With the Crayola, I would say that the ones from the first half of the list that I said are going to be the hardest to find. As with any of these colors, Prismacolor, Polychromos, Crayola, or Sharpie, a lot of these you're going to find on eBay. And you'll be able to find them and hopefully be able to enjoy them. Check out the swatch sheet that I have for the Crayola retired, and I'm going to actually be making a Sharpie, like it's going to be a current and then I'll have a retired page, but I'm going to be making a Sharpie swatch set and I will put the retired ones in there. So you'll be able to track those and be able to find them and swatch them if you get them. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video of all the rare colors. It's one of the things that's really close to me. I really have a respect for the history of all these companies, and I love being able to find some of these retired colors, getting that information out, because unless it's online, we are not going to be able to see it. Sometimes they just don't exist in the books and such. Hopefully one day they will. The history books of art supplies, you know, I'm going to write that one. Let me know, are there other colors that I didn't list that you guys can't find that are super hard to find? Let me know in the comments below. Is there another brand that you want to see like the rarest colors for? Let me know in the comments below too. Hope you guys have a great day and we'll see you in the next video.